Hi, it's Chris. In this video, we're going to show you how to install the dishwasher into your counter. It's a fairly easy job, and it only requires a few basic tools. Here's an example of what you may commonly need to use. You may not need all of these, or you may need something a little bit different depending on the install itself. As well, if you get any questions and you have your owner's manual, it always has the installation instructions in it as well. Keep in mind if your machine needs to be repaired, it's usually simple enough to do it yourself. Visit partselect.com, enter your model number, and quickly find and order the part you need. So the first thing I do when I go to install the dishwasher is hook up my electrical. So I'm going to want to be sure that I've got the power turned off so that there's no electricity going through this cable when I want to make my connection into the electrical box, which is usually in front of the dishwasher, and it can be either on the left or the right hand side. So to do our electrical connection, we just need to bring our house wiring up through the connector or strain relief that's on your electrical box. Just guide the wires up through, and you may have to bend them a little bit to help get them into those tight quarters. And ideally you want to bring the cable in far enough so the insulation actually comes completely through that strain relief. Once you have it there, you're just going to take your screwdriver and tighten up that clamp. So that provides the strain relief so that when you do move the dishwasher, it's not going to pull those wires out of place. So now we just need to make our connections. The connections are really easy to do, and you'll find typically the wiring matches your house wiring. So it's going to be black to black, white to white, and your ground will either connect to a green wire or a bare copper wire like this. So you're just going to take your wire nut, and I always start with the ground first. I don't know why, that's just what I do. So I just bring the two wires so they're very close together. The ends are in the same distance. Bring the wire nut on. And all you need to do is to start to thread it on. And then continue to twist it so that the connection is nice and tight to the point that the wires are actually starting to wrap around each other. That way you know you get a good tight connection. Now I do the same with the black and with the white. There, now that you have the wire nuts on and nice and tight, now it's just a matter of tucking them into the box so you can get the cover on. There's not a lot of room in that electrical junction box, so you have to kind of bend them in such a way that everything fits without any wires hanging outside the box. So it looks something like that. So now we just need to put our cover on. And you'll see this cover has a couple of locator fingers that go into the bracket. So I just need to bring the cover into place. Put the cover in position so that the screw will go back in. There we go. Once we have that connection made, then we're going to want to look at fishing our water line and our drain line through the cabinet to where it'll connect underneath your sink. Now I'm just going to put my kick panel on. Put my kick plate into position. Now you'll notice that kick plates typically have slots in them so that they'll slide up and down. This is to give you some adjustment so that when the dishwasher is put into the opening and leveled up, that the kick panel will come right down and touch the floor, so you've got a nice tight seal so nothing can get underneath it. But for installation purposes, I push them all the way up. I do this because it helps hold that fill line into its proper position for putting it back into the opening. So there, now we're ready to set it back down on its feet. Then you're able to slide your dishwasher into the opening, pulling those hoses through as you push the dishwasher in so you have nothing getting kinked up behind it. Now that the dishwasher is in underneath the cabinet, you'll want to check and make sure it's square and level, and then secure it to the countertop. So dishwashers have anti-tip brackets. These are the brackets that mount from the dishwasher into your countertop or through the side into your cabinet. Really important that these are on. It stops the dishwasher from tipping forward when you've got a full rack of dishes on the door. You're just going to take a screw it up into the countertop. Now the manufacturer usually supplies these brackets and the screws, and you just need to make sure that the screw is not too long so that it doesn't go all the way up through and come out the other side onto your counter. That would be a really bad thing. And that now has our dishwasher well secured. It can't tip forward. Now that the dishwasher is secured, it's just a matter of going underneath the sink and making that connection for your hot water line and for your drain line as well. So now we're just going to support the house plumbing. Take our drain hose and push it onto the spigot. And this would be the same process if you had a carburetor. You'd just be pushing the hose onto the carburetor fitting. And now we just slide our hose clamp, our gear clamp, into place. Some people call these a Jubilee clamp. Just bring it down into place. Make sure it's good and tight. So now to connect our water line, just bring our connection in and thread it onto the valve. Take our wrench to secure that. So once you've got those connections made, you're going to turn on your water, you're going to turn on your power, and you're going to run a test cycle to make sure that there's no leaks anywhere. So now you can see just how easy it is to install the dishwasher back into your counter.